Over the years, Buffalo has changed a lot, especially from when I started shooting these videos in 2019 all the way to now, 2025. We got a new mayor, costs have risen, so many different things have changed in the market, real estate, events in the area. I mean, so many different things have changed. So I'm going to give you guys about 7 to 8 things that you guys really want to know to help you kind of get adjusted to this Buffalo life, because it's a lot different from every other mid-sized city that you may be accustomed to. So number one for sure is definitely the cost of living. Back in 2019, 2020 timeframe, right? Let's just take 2020 for instance. When I first really started shooting these videos, real estate on average was around $167,000. Today, April 2025, it's around $260,000. Going out to eat used to be 30 bucks, 40 bucks. Now it's $75, $80, $100 if you guys have a couple glasses of alcohol with it too. Even rentals, used to be able to find a rental for $800, $900, nice 2-bedroom 5 years ago. In 5 years to now you got about a $1,300 rental payment every single month in just that short 5 year span of time. So we used to be affordable. For context, are we still affordable? Yes, right? We are still lower than a lot of other US cities around the entire United States, but we used to be, no exaggeration, maybe 15, 20% lower than the national average. Now we're sitting at just around 5. So over the course of 5 years, I mean, costs have risen, skyrocketed. If you even think about that home, if you bought a home in 2019, 2020 time period, you're looking at almost $100,000 in equity if you just held on, or if you sell right now, you'll probably get a lot more. We'll get into the housing market in just 1 second, but it has changed drastically when it comes to cost of living. Now, is it still more affordable than a lot of other big cities that a lot of you guys are coming from? Yes, but it is not the same as it used to be, especially when it comes to going out, eating, and your daily necessities. I mean, grocery store bills, Wegmans, if you shop at Wegmans these days, you coming out 5 items, probably $60. It's crazy. So that is definitely something that you guys must know. What you hear about Buffalo being affordable as it once was back in the day, or even 5, 6, especially 10 years ago, is not as affordable as it once was. So it's something that you guys have to put on your radar and make sure that you guys are doing a good cost analysis coming from your current city over to Buffalo. If you're coming from big cities, Atlanta's, New York's, Californians, you're still going to be in very good position, especially, as I always preach, if you guys can keep your current salary and get that true remote working, you're going to be good. But just know cost of living is shifting around, and y'all already know our taxes is still high and they getting higher. Now, the second thing that you guys really must know is Buffalo is a little backwards, right? And what I mean by backwards is this. Let's just take Atlanta, for instance, right? How a lot of your big cities, the city is the most expensive part when it comes to housing or just different things and things to do. In the city, it's very expensive, but your suburbs, you can go out 25 minutes away and get something much cheaper and just commute back and forth. In Buffalo, it's the opposite. The city is much cheaper to live in than if you guys are going off or living in the suburbs. No matter what case you're talking about, renting, owning, shoot, even mobile homes. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't have many mobile homes inside the city, but you get what I'm saying. But when it comes to housing costs, our city is lower than our suburbs. For example, inside the actual city of Buffalo, so just the city, your average is only around $189,000. It sounds attractive, right? Amherst, for instance. Amherst, you're going to be sitting at 371. Orchard Park, you're going to be sitting at 400. Even Cheektowaga, you're going to be sitting at 225. Clarence, you're going to be sitting at a cool $500,000. So there are a lot of different nuances that Buffalo kind of plays on, right? So Buffalo is definitely backwards in that sense of it's easier to and more cheaper to live inside the city, and there's more expensive to live in the outskirts. Really, mainly it's revolving around the school districts, right? Buffalo Public Schools, BPS, it ain't too good, right? You got a couple inside the city that's really good, especially if you guys are going to a charter school or something like that. But most of the actual public schools inside of Buffalo, It's not that great. Amherst, Williamsville, Clarence, Orchard Parks, those areas I just named, they have a much better school district. But again, if you think about it, when it comes to BPS, you got 50 high schools, 60 high schools, right? Or schools, let's just call them schools, right? Inside the city, inside of those suburbs, not only do they have much more money out there and their median home price and shoot, median household income is more, so they pay more in taxes to the school. But you also have between 1 to 4 schools inside that actual district. So Williamsville, for instance, you got 3 schools inside of Williamsville North, South, and East. Amherst Central High, or that 14226 area, you just have Amherst Central. So everybody in that 14, or mostly everybody in that 14226 is kind of paying towards that specific school. Same thing with Cheektowaga, you got 4 schools all breaking it down. Orchard Park only has 1 school. Clarence only has 1 school. Lancaster only has that 1 school. So you can see why the schools are a little bit better on the outskirts versus those ones inside the city. But again, it costs less to live inside the city. Here's the funny thing though, because taxes are so high, it's like this weird starting to shift where people are actually moving back inside the city. Who wants to pay $10, $8, $12,000 a year in taxes? Especially if you guys are in Clarence or Orchard Park and you sitting on $800 to $1 million property, you're paying an easy 15, 20,000 depending on what section of the suburb that you guys are in. So it's weird right now because those schools are better, but people are starting to make that shift into the city again because nobody wants to pay that taxes and nobody wants to live from the snowbelt Orchard Park driving back inside the city if they got to work or just going to different events. And most people just don't want to get caught inside of that snow when it starts to hit. That 6-7 feet can be a real shocker if you've never seen it before. That also brings me to my third one, which is going to be diversity. Buffalo's diversity is not there just yet when it comes to being spread out. Most of our mixed, diverse crowds are going to be right within that city limit. It has not really spread out to everywhere else yet. Cheektowaga is diverse. That South Amherst area, that 14226 is diverse for sure. Tonawanda, the town of Tonawanda is getting there. Not the city so much. Orchard Park, not so much. Williamsville, not so much, right? So those areas on the outskirts are not going to be as diverse as the city. It's spreading, is getting way better even for when I was a child. Like, I just think about even South Buffalo, for instance, when I was young or my parents were young, we didn't cross Clinton. Like, there's a certain part of Clinton you just did not cross. Now it's like South Buffalo has literally reversed almost in its entirety. Like, I mean, it's so mixed down there now. It's crazy. Same with the West Side. Same with even North Buffalo too. I mean, a lot of people, especially with people, inching out more and more. Depew is getting crazy diverse now too. So it is really good to see, but just know, because of the past of Buffalo, once you go 16 minutes out, give or take, like once you kind of cross a certain border, it doesn't get as diverse. Now, is it not welcoming? That may be a question that you're asking. To me, I have no problems. Y'all know I sell real estate everywhere. I mean, down from Colden all the way up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So even, Niagara Falls and Lockport, all that stuff. So I personally, I don't really have any issues, but I do know people who've had them in the past. So is it welcoming? For the most part, yes, right? You don't have as many stops that I hear about, or I've really never been pulled over too much when it comes to, going to Orchard Park and things like that. It's a lot better now than what it once was. So if you're reading some stuff online in 2025, it's way better than if you're reading something for 4, 5, 6, 10 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's get on to the next one. Because we already mentioned it, let's talk about the actual weather. Buffalo's weather, first of all, is unpredictable. It's unpredictable. It's the most bipolar weather I've ever experienced, and I lived here all my life. Traveled a lot, seen a lot, right? But Buffalo's weather is unpredictable. Here's how it goes. And we'll start with the harshest first because I know that's what y'all all waiting for, right? Wintertime. Wintertime is going to start in November. Mid-November is when it's going to start to get real chilly, right? Mid-November is when it's going to start to get really chilly. You can get it as early as October. I mean, the October storm was very real when I was a kid. Like, that was real, but that was, to me, an anomaly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really get storms like that in October too much. But for the most part, on average, you're going to start to get cold or chilly around November. It's definitely going to be cold around December. Sometimes you may get a nice December, and then, but right around Christmas time, either a week or 2 weeks before Christmas time, you're going to get snow. Especially over the last kind of 3 years, we be getting hit hard before Christmas. And then also you're going to get hit hard again, maybe 3 weeks to a month after Christmas. So you kind of have between November-ish to around February where the coldness, the chilliness, the snowstorms, all that stuff really stops, right? You got about 2 to 3 hard months, right? So that is something to think about. When it comes to rain, we're going to get rain in March, April, and May, right? March, April, May is when you're going to get straight rain, and then it just becomes beautiful out of nowhere. It's very odd. Like you're going to get rain, beautiful days, rain, 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 a really nice day and rain, and then it'll start to tinkle off, and then it just gets to summertime. It's such a weird state that Buffalo is in. Our summer's beautiful, especially if we have, if it doesn't rain as much. But most of the time, our summers are actually beautiful, hot, nice. Late these last few years, we've really been getting 90-degree weathers, which is crazy. It was one time like I can say you really don't need AC. I changed my mind on that. Like in Buffalo now, especially even if you're going to only use it for 4 to 5 months, because we have the humidity, you need it. Like you can walk outside and sometimes you just walk straight, bead of sweat coming down your face. So that is something that you guys want to think about. In fall, we have a 1 month of fall. Like the leaves change so quick, and that's October. October to me is really the only fall month we have, right? The leaves just start turning in September-ish, but it's still hot outside in September for the most part, especially lately. So October is like the really only fall month you have leading into that November time frame. Are the winters as harsh? Again, we really only have those 1 to 2 snowfalls, something to be prepared for. Once you get through that, it's just cold outside. You'll be good, throw on a jacket. This is a huge one, especially for you guys that's looking to buy a home. You gotta know, you have to know if you guys are planning on buying a house here and you guys are getting a mortgage, it's gonna take 60 days to close here. I wish I can tell you something different. There isn't, it's really nothing I can do for you guys on that one. It takes 60 days to close. Title in Buffalo, New York takes forever and a day. I'm just letting you know that. It's one of those things. That can take 3 to 4 weeks by itself. Just title. And that's not including, getting an offer accepted. Oh my gosh, we're about to talk about that in 1 second. Getting an offer accepted, attorney's approval, home inspections, if there's any delays with anything, if you got to get tenants out of there, taking time for people to move out of there. So 60 days to close. And the reason why I mention that is because it's important to plan everything. As always, for a lot of you guys who I've already helped, early, we get 6 months out, we're jumping on a call. If not a year out, we can jump on a call, right? So that is something that you guys really want to be mindful of when it comes to that. If we're jumping on a call 6 months out, we know we have time to prepare ourselves for that 2 month close, and then also give us time to look. Buffalo's housing market, this is the next one, has been crazy over these last 2 years, really, especially in 2025 right now. It's a seller's market. Ask anybody about the Buffalo market these last 2 years, probably even 3 years. They will vouch for me to tell you I'm not lying, where things are going in a week and things are going 50, 60, 70 over. No exaggeration. We put in, I should say, I'm working with about 9 people right now. No exaggeration. 50,000 over, 60,000 over. No home inspection. We did not get them. I just put 2 videos about this because I just had to warn people, but 50, 60, 70 over, we're not getting them. No home inspection. $20,000 deposit down. Crazy right now in the Buffalo market. I'm praying this change. I'm praying to change because it's unfair, man. So imagine you guys bought a house for 167. Put it or equity just because of the average is 260 or $100,000 over. And then because of the short inventory, you're getting that extra $50,000 to $70,000. I don't know how long this is going to run in Buffalo, but right now it's running. telling you, you can sell quick here. Buying is the challenge. For you guys that like the club, or you guys that's a little bit young, I've noticed even in the people that I'm helping right now, a lot of people that's moving to the Buffalo area really are like young professionals, starting families or couples. I've helped a good amount of couples this year. Now that I really think about it, or people looking that could be a little bit retired, just a few years left of work and then moving to Buffalo. I would say those are really my two main categories of people right now. And it's just because people Buffalo doesn't attract a young crowd. A super young crowd or singles, a lot of singles here. And that's just me being very honest, right? We don't have a huge party scene here, a going out scene here. I haven't been single for years, so almost a decade. So I can't help you with the local scene as far as getting out and people. If I go out to the bar, I'm with the boys or I'm literally with my wife. So um, that's one thing I can say about Buffalo. We don't have a huge single social scene here as far as my ears to the streets that I really know about. And then we also don't attract that crowd because we're not a big party city. We're bar people here. And I say this in all my videos. We are bar people. You want to go to the bar, have a good time, hang out, drinks, talk, maybe dance a little bit, cool. If you expecting to really club, whether you rave or shaking your butt, Buffalo don't have that. Like, yeah, we just don't. That's one thing. To me, it's really not a big knock to it. It does hurt because we're not attracting a lot of those young people. So I can say that is a knock. But as a non-partier, that don't bother me too much. You know what I'm saying? So that is something that you guys definitely want to think about. On the other end of that, we are a still growing city. It's slowly, but it's surely, and we're also still a 15-minute city. We don't have traffic. We can get anywhere quick. Every single neighborhood has their own plaza. And when I'm talking about plaza, I mean a Target is no less than 10 minutes away. No more than 10 minutes away. Walmart's no more than 10 minutes away. The gym is probably no farther than 5 minutes away. Every grocery store, every pharmacy, everything that you can need amenity wise is going to be in a 5-minute drive of you. Or if you just want to put your feet to work, maybe 15 minutes. Only down part about that is Buffalo is not super walkable in that sense of you can hop on a bus and just take that 10-minute ride. You will be walking down a main street with your bags in hand if you decide to do so. Still, for some people, that's not a far walk. For some people, I ain't doing it like myself. I'm a drive depending on where I'm going. If I'm inside the city, I'm a walk all day. But if I'm, where I live in Lancaster or even any other suburbs, forget about that. I'm driving. And then you just need a car in Buffalo regardless. You're not going to get around to me safely on the metro all the time or using your feet all the time, especially once it get to winter time. Who wants to walk through that snow? Not me. I'll tell you that right now. And last but not least, Buffalo has been getting a lot of good attention. So again, there are things coming to Buffalo, which is nice. I mean, the Bills and Bandits are playing super well. Sabres, they've been down for a while, but the Bills and Bandits are bringing a lot of media attention to Buffalo, which is dope. And even with Zillow is really ranking us because we still are somewhat affordable, right? And our housing costs compared to the national average is still lower. We have been ranked number one over the last 2 years for housing, not only affordability, but to be able to find one. The hard part is finding one. Like, you know what I'm saying? So on the index, that's the only thing I have about the Zillow article, right? That's the only thing about them because yes, it's hot. It's a hot market right now. Yes, it's only 260 on average, right? Depending on where you're moving. 371 in Amherst, 400 if you're in other areas, 500 if you want something a lot nicer, right? So you can still say it's a hot market for sure, for sure. The hard part right now is because our inventory is so low and the emotion around these decisions to buy a house right now, I don't think that's what Zillow really captured, right? It's hard to capture that in an article. So yes, we're hot right now, and a lot of people are looking here right now, and a lot of things are going for Buffalo, but to find a house here right now, I'm in this every day, all day long. It's tough. Again, I'm praying it change. That's some drawbacks. Now, Buffalo still has some things that is working through, right? Some political things. Y'all know I ain't no political guy. I never have been one. There's some political things in Buffalo that's going on around. That's kind of whack, right? When it comes to some red tape and things like that, as far as starting to build more and more and more, it's like you always see the same names on the buildings instead of bringing in, like young developers or new teams to be able to help develop the Buffalo area, or just even people without inside the city who have great ideas. To me, it's a lot of red tape that still goes on involved. That's just my 2 cents. I won't talk about it no more, but I'm not a political dude or nothing like that, so I don't know all the ropes or ranks that you got to go through. But I think Buffalo can be more progressive in using people within the city and really giving them the funding that they need to be able to scale up the city quick as far as the small businesses go, right? Not always the same names and people alike that are doing the same things over and over, or everybody has their hand inside the pie. Yeah, I know what I'm saying, right? Other than that, I mean, Buffalo is still a great place. These are definitely some things that you guys really, really, really want to pay attention to. If you guys have any questions, as always, make sure you guys reach out to me. My name is Devontae Davis, the local realtor in and around the Buffalo area. If you guys have any questions, make sure you let me know. Get us a call, email, text if you guys are moving here. And as always, we love to help you, and we'll see you in the next one.